I swear, after waiting in the green room week in and week out all these years, it's that last little countdown that always gets me. But still, it's Tuesday. It's 6 p.m. out here on the West Coast, 9 p.m. out there with you guys back. Well, yeah, West Coast, East Coast, whatever. You know what we do. We got something special for you tonight. I don't think you're ready for this. I really, really don't. But as we usually do this, let's kick it off right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, TCT, BNL, that's the sexy son of a bitch right here, is proud to bring to you our soon-to-be world-famous No Lag Zone. And tonight, we've got an incredible guest for you. Seriously, his company is so sneaky good. If you know the man, you know why I want him on here. Especially if you know the man, you know his story, you know why we had to have Tim McMahon from Valhalla Beard and Body. See, I give
you a salute there, Chris. I would have danced. I don't dance. I would have looked more stupid than that. So not as good as you, Chris.
Same. But we're gonna get the roll call out of the way, and we're gonna get into you, your story, and everything else, my brother. All righty. First up, Chef.
Sounds great, man.
I know you know this dude. I know he
loves
the company as much as I do.
He's a good man.
Courier 6, it's still good to see you checking in from behind enemy lines. We love you, brother. Stay strong out there. Metal Guy, what's going on? That's a convert I made for you because I've been raving about you to him.
He's a good dude.
TV, what's up? Hey, dickhead. There you go, bro. Miss you, Dan.
I love Dan.
How can you not? And Elvina, what's going on? All right, Tim. I know when I talked to you before, you were like, man, I'm really bad about, selling myself. Give us an elevator pitch about Valhalla Beard and Body. Come on, man. Floor's yours.
Well, I really am a bad salesman. So I'll just start off with that. But I think, my favorite thing about my company is the effort, the love, the time, everything that I put into doing this stuff. All my stuff is handmade in my shop behind me here. Everything, from my beard wash to my soap to my shave soap, oils, butters, you name it. Everything is all handmade by me. I use premium ingredients. I don't skimp on anything. I do research to get the best stuff out there that I can. I spend a lot of time on research and development, like one of my favorite movies, Step Brothers, the research and development side of that. But I test, like right now, I'm testing a product. I'm testing my spring stuff right now. So I'm constantly, testing stuff. It's tweaking things by the grams in different oil blends to see what works better. And I'm always improving, and I'm willing to, I scrapped a bunch of labels recently that I had in stock to improve my beard oil blend, standardize it, make it nice across the board, just because I've been toying with stuff. And, and the soap, I think I was telling you before the show, I just cut 20 loaves of soap before I got in here. I worked my ass off. I put my heart and soul into this. I don't put blood, sweat, and tears into it because you don't want that shit in your soap and your beard oil.
Really?
But I put that effort into it, and I don't make a killing on this stuff. This is a second job for me. This is a hobby turned into a second full-time job. It started off as a hobby. I wanted to make stuff that worked well for me, because I didn't want to go paying $25 a beard oil. Not to say there's anything wrong with that. I'm just probably a cheap person.
Look, aren't we all?
Yeah, I mean, and I do. I mean, there's certain things, I don't need to go to a barber anymore, so I like to pamper myself a little bit.
I know the feeling.
But I will spend that. Like, I just bought a bunch of stuff from a bunch of other guys, on their New Year's releases, because I support their small businesses, guys in the beard community that are my friends, soap companies that are my friends. So what I do here is just for the love of it, really. And I make it affordable, if you go on my website and you see my story, we grew up poor. My dad worked 3 jobs and he died doing his 3rd job. Got killed by a drunk driver. And I just look at this stuff like, you know, if my dad had a beard, I remember him as the whisker guy. He was always 5 o'clock shadow, and that was his tickle thing when we were little. He would tickle us with his whiskers, you know. But if he had a beard, he wouldn't be able to buy that kind of oil. So I wanted to make an oil that was premium grade, that someone like my dad could afford. So if it takes me not making as much money on doing something that I love to do in a hobby, then so be it. Then you know, regular people get to afford it and enjoy it. So
Okay,
that's
now,
my elevator spiel.
yeah, only because I've known him for a little while. I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to call bullshit on you're not a good salesman, because right off the bat, you answered 4 questions I already had for you. All right. And if anybody needs one more thing to add to what he's saying, he's not a good salesman, his customer service is unbelievable. My first purchase I bought from him, I went, oh, shit, I wish you had this oil in stock. He goes, I got you. He's like, the label's going to be a little different, but I got you. And I was like, let me buy it. No, I got you. I'm like, fuck, okay. And then I got it, and I'm like, God damn, this shit is good. And that was the Valhalla, whatever one, you know, your Christmas scent.
Nah.
Vato.
I give a lot of shit. What's up, Vato? I give a lot of shit away. It's probably to a fault. I do it. But you know what? When you say, and thank you for that, because I you know, the most ironic thing about all of this, I'm huge on customer service. I have to do it at my regular job. It bothers me when I don't receive decent customer service. Like my wife and I talk about it all the time. You know, like we say we go through a drive-through and some kid's just a dick, and it's like, I know you're just handing cheeseburgers out the fucking window, but don't be a dick. You know, there's no reason to be a dick. If you know, if you hate it, then don't do it. Go pack groceries or something. You know, but the customer service aspect of this thing for me is the most important part of this entire business, because if it's not genuine, it's not real. It's not about giving free shit away. It's about just being personable to people. And here's the ironic part. I don't fucking like people. I'm a dog guy.
I'm sorry.
Because
that's why you and Dan get along so fucking well. I love it.
well, I could completely be by myself for years and be totally fine with it. I could be the old cranky guy in the woods making beard oils and shipping them, you know, through some freaking carrier pigeons from out in the cabin on the woods somewhere. You know, with my dogs, of course. And you know, I love my family, I love my wife, I love my daughters, but you know, there are so many people, in the social media community, guys like you, Dan, there's so many people on that are watching now that are in my berserker group, that I met so many cool, genuine people that are like, man, there are some still out there, but there are so many freaking scumbags out there that you run into every day, or the lack of consideration from general people in general, to just in general, whether you're in the grocery store, you're driving, whatever it is, there's such a selfish mindset of everybody in this country now. And there's a lack of consideration for everybody else in this country, which ties hand in hand to selfishness, that you know, I'm going to get mine first. I'm going to do this first. And I hate it, you know, and that's where I get so freaking irritated, man. I just rather sit in this shop, not watch news, not watch any of that stuff. Just make some cool shit, you know, make some cool shit and meet some cool people along the way, you know.
Now, Chris Perez, I'm going to say it right here. I'm saying it live. If you make a purchase from him and you don't like it, get a hold of me. I'll buy it from you. I've bought 8 of his oils and butters, and they're fucking phenomenal.
Hey, before I fuck this up, because I fuck it up on every show that I'm on, I made you a code for your listeners or your viewers. Steven, metal guy, reminded me. He's like, hey, do you got one for me? I got to make his still, but it takes me a little bit to do it. So I did make yours. That's why I was a couple minutes coming in.
What's it at? I'll switch the banner.
It's your TCT BNL. And that'll get you, that'll get them 15% off. It'll go on 2 orders. So they get it to use it twice. I've been cutting back on codes just because I had too many out there. And it won't work on limited edition stuff or new releases. It'll take a little while for it to hit new release stuff. But I've been, I've been giving too much shit away, and it's everything especially with the soap has blown up so much. It's really hard. I can't even keep stuff in stock. So I kind of cut back a little bit, and so it is what it is. But I wanted to get something out there for you.
I appreciate it.
And not at the end of the show.
Yeah, like Dan's.
like Dan's.
All right. So as I'm screwing this up somehow, I don't care. Come here. There we go. I'm going to leave that right there while the banner scrolls underneath. So no big deal. Okay. Now, I did want to get this one out there, and I really want to highlight this because I've been thinking about this a lot. One of the other things that really attracted me to your company, other than customer service, was you're always looking at a way, like you said, to do like a giving back. The first soap I got from you, it was breast cancer or something. Your Merlot and whatever you had that one. It was like a reddish
diabetes.
Okay, diabetes.
Oh, yeah.
And you had, which outside of Valhalla or whatever, the one you did for autism.
Yeah. Luca the Fearless.
This is phenomenal. Seriously, this.
Oh, I appreciate it. I still wear that one, man. I get compliments on the construction sites from dudes with that one, and not in a weird way, but just like, dude, what the fuck are you wearing, man?
Yeah, but it's like
I love how that
I keep
out.
saying you're so sneaky good. It's not a reach up and punch you in the mouth kind of scent profiles that I've gotten from you. Even like Rise of the Draugr, which has the tobacco in there. Now, some companies go very heavily into the tobacco where it's like you're walking around with an ashtray.
Mm-hmm. Or
Not
leather.
Rise of the Draugr. And I'm like, my buddy Dan told me about it, on your live, and he even said, you need to get it. When I got it, I was like, holy shit. It's sneaky freaking good, and it has a great long-lasting feel in beard. You're the second company I've ever had this happen with where I don't feel the need to use butter at night. My beard is smooth all day long.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm a butter guy during the day. Like I'll at night when I get out of the shower, I'll use the oil that I'm going to use for the next day, of the butter that I'm going to use the next day. Yeah. I like to pair everything. So except for today, I didn't use any butter on this one, but yeah, I use the butter just to, and it has a very, very, very tiny amount of wax in it. I know some people cry about that, and I get it, and I'm not going to take it out. It binds things very well in the butter. The butter's really smooth.
Agreed.
And
Agreed,
I spent a lot of time on the butter, and so I'm very particular about that stuff too. I'm very OCD type, on everything that I do. So it's I'm glad you like it. I'm glad that you say that about Draugr, because Draugr became, Ragnarok was my all-time favorite scent of any beard company that I've used. And then when I made Draugr, I was like, oh shit. And I went through several iterations of Draugr. Just like you said, you could be too tobacco heavy. You could certainly be too leather heavy. If you go leather heavy, it'll freaking destroy it. And there are a lot of guys that don't like leather. You just get a very, very slight hint of leather in there in the Draugr one. So that became 1B for me.
I've heard great things about Blood Eagle. Great things.
Yeah, I wanted to send that to him to, before he got it, before anybody else got it. It was one of those things. I figured I would
not you
fluff him a little bit. But no, I that one turned out really well, and that was a collab. Not even a collab. It was just that one of the guys, this guy Hayden, had said, "Hey man, it'd be great. I love your Mjolnir's Return, which is an orange sandalwood." Yeah. He said, "What would really be cool if you made something like an old fashioned?" And I'm like, "I don't know what an old fashioned is. we'll probably get into this later. I'm an alcoholic, but I was a beer drinker guy, and then it was just vodka and gin, so it didn't matter
It's
what.
all types. It's all types.
but he said, no, it's like a cherry and an orange. So I'm like, all right. So I started looking around. I said, oh, I got bourbon. I got a really very, very nice bourbon scent. I got some blood orange. I got some cherry, and I think I got some patchouli in it. And so I got quite a few things in it. And he's like, yeah, and I think we should call it Blood Eagle. I'm like, fucking brilliant, dude. I love it. So then I went and just ran with it. Yeah. And when you look at the history of that, whether it was, some say it's myth, some say it actually happened. You don't really know, but it's just cool. Okay, so
sorry, I want to touch on that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that history, it's the ultimate punishment for you guys who don't know. Basically, they carve open your back, break every fucking rib all the way down, pull your lungs out, and basically hang you somewhere so it looks like the lungs are flapping like a wings. It's the ultimate punishment for a Viking. Well, excuse me, a Dane, because Viking means to raid. So, anywho.
Mm-hmm.
But the flip side of that is if you don't make a sound while you're getting the Blood Eagle, you go to Valhalla. You're redeemed. And I'm like, who's not going to make a sound when every rib is being broken? I'm just like, wow. But still, sorry to get off track.
Especially along your back. Well, I guess maybe if they sever the spinal cord right away, you probably wouldn't feel it too much.
Yeah, but I'm like, talk about a brutal punishment equals redemption.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty brutal. But you know what? Those guys were pretty badass too.
And it's weird how much we're still learning about them just from dietary habits, from things they're unearthing, just all kinds of other weird stuff. And I'm like, they were badass warriors who just wanted to farm.
They just wanted to farm, right? That's right.
But
yeah, that's a lot of
the world,
Yeah, that's why I want to get into like ancestry.com or something, because my roots are Scottish, Scotland, Ireland, England, and a lot of that stuff originates, not originates, but their influence went into that, in heavy into those isles. And so I want to get, I made the mistake of doing that 23andMe. Dan's gonna rip me for that. I did that years ago for that shit, but I found an aunt that I didn't know I had, and
that's cool.
But I want to do the ancestry thing just to kind, because that, I think, and I this is just my thought. I don't know if it's 100%, but that'll dig deeper into your roots, into your actual family name and all that stuff.
You said it. There he is.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I knew it was coming. I'll take the medicine.
Okay. You mentioned something a moment ago, and this is another reason I really wanted you here. Your father. When I heard you talking about it on the Longhouse, I sat and went, holy shit. Because when you read about it in your About Us section, and then to hear you talk about it, wow. I don't know if I would have that strength to want to sit down with his killer like you did.
Well, I didn't sit down with the guy.
You wanted to.
I wanted to, and I wrote a letter. I was going to call him. I was gonna send the letter to him. So it was all part of my recovery through AA, and the 12 steps. And so one of the steps is making amends, and it's like, what do I need to make amends to this fucking guy for? Well, it's to, they talk about clearing your side of the street. So my side of the street is, I won't say it on camera, but there were some really things planned. We'll just say, I grew up in New York, so
I got you. No, I grew up.
There were some things. there are some things planned. And thankfully, nothing ever came to fruition. And I just despise this man for everything. Never even met him. I ended up despising God, a whole lot of stuff, and going through the program, realizing, what the hell has been putting me in such a shithole that I was in for all these years. And it was because I couldn't let that go. And it's hard. It's hard. A guy killed my fucking dad, ruined my family. I mean, it took everything. My dad still to this day is my hero and everything. If I would say I would trade my life to bring him back, but I don't know that that's true anymore, because then I would be taking that away from my wife and daughters. But along those lines, I would give anything to just talk to him one more time. And so this guy took that. He took my world away from me. So when I wrote this letter, I just basically said, if you might be as fucked up as I am. Thank God I've never driven, got any DUIs, or I never killed anybody or anything like that. But you might be in a dark place, and just know that I've come to the conclusion, and I'm willing to forgive you for it and move on. And when I did that, when I wrote that, when I actually put the pen to paper and did that, even without talking to him, because I can't guarantee, if I sat in front of this guy, it sounds all great and cool right now, but if I sat in front of this guy, I can't guarantee I wouldn't have came across the table and fucking snapped his neck or something, But
it's really understandable. I mean, to have the most important person in your life at that point ripped away from you because somebody fucked up. I get the emotions and everything. And it's one of the things, when I heard you talk about it and even hearing about it now, I went, holy crap, the mental fortitude on this guy. And it's one of the big things, we talk about here on the channel, how you were able to take it, process it, change your life, and now you're changing others' lives just by your action.
Well, I'd like to think so. It took me, I was 16 when I got, so I'll have 4 years, so 44, 60. It took me 28 fucking years to come to that conclusion. But, once I did that, Chris, like everything that I carried on my shoulders for 28 fucking years feels like it just blew off like ashes in a fucking campfire.
Yep.
It was the most uplifting. And if somebody's never experienced that, I'm always very skeptical about all kinds of stuff. I believe in aliens, but I'm skeptical, even though I haven't seen any. But I'm very skeptical on stuff. But if anything made me a believer of just the way the world works, whether it's God, it's Odin, whatever it is, I can't really define what it is. That moment of being able to do that just set me free. I had all these demons. I had demons carrying me around for my entire freaking life, wanting me to do what they wanted me to do.
Yeah, anger will do that. And I totally get it, because I'm in my 50s now, and I'm finally putting shit together that I should have put together 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So I get you, brother, And yes, once again, I do believe in aliens, because you'll never make me believe in this whole big freaking universe we're the only idiots who crawled out of the primordial ooze and went, "What's up?"
Yeah, exactly. That's my argument. Every single freaking star is a sun somewhere.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that there's not a two douchebags.
I firmly believe aliens drive by us at times and they roll their windows up, passing by Earth,
Hey, can you hear me?
I got you now.
Hang on a sec.
I don't like that look.
Damn it. Hang on.
You're good, brother. I mean, on this channel, all kinds of technical issues always happen. Weird crap always
Oh,
happens.
okay. Is that good?
I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got disconnected. My headphones got disconnected.
It happens.
So,
Sit down. Good.
so yeah, no, so, just try not to carry, a lot of me was just, feel sorry for me. Uh, I grew up a fighter. I got in fights every freaking weekend. Mostly backing up my friends. I wasn't one to go start shit. I felt bad about that kind of stuff. But I was always the first one to throw down. It, but like anger to me was just like a drug. It's when I get a taste of anger, oh my god, I want more of it. And it's the addictive personality in me. But man, something different about anger, and so I do these things to just keep me and ever since starting up the business, ever since getting sober and doing different things, whether it's meditating or praying or whatever it is to keep my mind square, I don't get as angry as I used to. I still get annoyed with people, but I don't get as angry as I used to. I used to hate the world, and that was, I think that being lifted was directly attributed to me casting those demons of the past and being able to move forward.
It's taken me, what's this, 24? I'll be 53 this year. 53, not to want to strike back every time I get hit with something. Because that's exactly how I was raised. I joined the military when I was 17. You get hit, you hit back as hard as you can, as strong as you can, and you don't stop until the enemy's defeated.
Right.
That caused me so many more problems, and I couldn't get out of my own way because I was like, oh, this mother effer. Oh my God, I can't believe he fucking said this. What the hell? And everything around me was screwed up. And I saw this phrase recently that summed it up. True peace is knowing how to pull the knife out of your back and put it away.
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
Like, ooh, shit.
Yeah, because you have this, like me, I have to constantly feel like I have to defend myself, or like me and my wife were talking about this the other day. So psychologists say, or whatever they say, when someone gets defensive, it's because you're lying. And I say that's fucking bullshit. I get defensive when someone's saying something that I know is absolutely 100% false, and they continue to repeat the falseness, and it's like I get defensive that way. So it's just I'm total opposite of what they say. So I would probably never pass any kind of psychological exam for that. But to be able to learn to just let something go, you feel like a pussy when you do it. And because it's like I never back down. I never it was always I'm just going to fight. I'm going to throw down until if either I get my ass kicked or they get their ass kicked, whatever it is. And I need to learn to do that, and I have learned to do that. And even driving, out here, I mean, Arizona, you get fucking shot. Everybody carries a gun, me included. My wife had said, "What if he's got a gun?" I got a fucking gun, And it's like I would never want to pull it on anybody. I'd rather use my fist, but it's just not worth it.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I learned a lot how to do it by being friends with two of the angriest motherfuckers on the planet, Jersey Joe and Dan. They brought me more peace this last year than they will ever know.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yes, Dan, I'm giving you a compliment. So there, let me balance it out, okay? You happy, Dan?
Yeah. You have to balance it out.
Exactly. Now we're going to flip it over a little bit, get a little bit more lighthearted. What brought the whole Norse mythology into your business?
Oh man, I've been infatuated with medieval times, and medieval times, old Viking times. Just the culture of it, the way just every single bit about, like you touched a lot about them being farmers and fishermen. You know, I'm a big fisherman. You can see the salmon up on my back here.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a 27-pound Lake Ontario. But just that, you know, just the look, you know, I've always wanted the long beard. I always thought, you know, I'd end up bald, you know, and that was always my envision of what the Viking guy was with the braided beard.
Right.
Just I love the warrior aspect of them, where you know, fighting down to the children, you know, the kids, the boys were off to fighting. The one thing I didn't like about the culture is just the fact that they did go and take from others for no reason. You know, at least it's portrayed that way.
Right.
I always wanted to think of them as they were just defending what they had. I just want to be a freaking farmer. I just want to fish. Leave me alone. Hey, England, leave me the fuck alone. You're not going to come rule me, tell us what to do. Because I mean, England was, you know, it was tyranny for years. You know, even look at the Braveheart movies and what they did to those people over there. It's like,
in England had what, 7 kings at one point, I think, with all the nations.
Yeah.
That they had all split up. So yeah.
Yeah. So and then, you know, then when you actually dig into the mythology of it, it's really cool. The stories are freaking cool.
I agree.
The characters, you know, that's so like when I name my products, or I slacked a little bit on my website explaining some of the things because I just got so busy. But when I originally set up my website, I kind of explained, you know, who Odin is, or what Jotunheim is, or what Yggdrasil is, or something, you know. So I'll kind of go through that. But when you dig through it, and you know, I'm a big, you know, we talked about video games. I'm a big video game guy, and I love the God of War series. And so, you know, God of War now in all the Norse culture, it's not accurately depicted as what the mythology actually says, but it's close. I mean, they have a lot of good, cool references in there. And, you know, honestly, there's a lot of shows that reference into Norse mythology. If you sit there and look at it, like, for example, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones they touch a lot on different things. Like there's a world tree in there, Yggdrasil.
And the White Walkers, you know, the Frost Giants.
And the White Walkers, the Giants, which you know, the Giants were, you know, part of the Jotnar and the Ravens. You know, that's what I got right here. What I'm working on for my spring scent. You know, the Odin's Ravens. You know, but the Ravens in that in that show were basically the eyes around the world for Odin. You know, for them or whoever that was. But yeah, there's a lot of references that way. And then actually watching the TV series on the History Channel, the Vikings,
Okay.
that was a really great series.
I liked Vikings. I went into it knowing it was based off of characters in history. And I'm only saying characters because I know a lot of these guys existed. Like, there's no direct proof that Ragnar and Rollo were brothers.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
But okay, that's cool on the show. Or the big scene where Ragnar pops out of the coffin. Bjorn Ironside actually did that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you see some people, like, you can go on YouTube right now and type in Bjorn Ironside's burial mound, I think it is. And they will take you to Norway. I think it's Norway. And they will show you where he's supposed to be buried. But there's some people who claim he's buried over in Ireland.
Yeah.
You know, so I love the fact that you can even go through U.S. history and even go some states and you can see Viking runes inscribed in stones.
Mm-hmm.
They're still there. But you mentioned God of War. The biggest thing I loved about the whole latest release of the game is who was Odin when he was hiding throughout every single town. Like when you were coming up to like the dwarf settlement for the first time, there's a dwarf who spits at you. That's Odin.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so neat thinking here is the father of the Norse gods, but everybody hates him. And anybody who is into Norse mythology or Norse paganism, They even say the same thing. Fuck Old One Eye, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the beloved one was Freyr. You know, and that's where it's really cool. You know, when you look at the lineage of the mythology, is just cool. You know, just kind of tracking that. And there's a lot of literature. Like I listen to some books more for entertainment. They don't kind of tie back into what the actual writings of the mythology were. There was a good one by Neil Gaiman. His book on Norse mythology was really good, and he basically repeats the stories in the mythology, you know, about Fenrir and the thread and Thor, you know, with Jormungand, you know, fishing him out of the sea, and
Yep.
Sif's, you know, how Sif got her hair, and you know, her hair was cut, you know, just, you know, Odor and them, you know, dying by the mistletoe. And I mean, there's just so much cool shit just listening. You know, I'm not a book reader, I'm a book listener because I have freaking massive ADD.
I get it. Some people, you do you. That's the only way I can put it. Some people love having that book in their hand. Like for me, I want the book. My better half wants ebooks. That's what she wants, is ebooks. I'm like, there's something stupid to me about going.
Yeah, it's got to be here for me because then my imagination goes, and that's the one thing I love about doing this stuff and tying it to the mythology itself, reading it, what I envision, playing God of War, watching Viking show. I get to take all of that stuff and put my spin on what I believe it would look like. That's where the colors of the soaps come from, the names of the products,
Yeah.
the labels that I created, the artwork that I did on them. All of it is from my imagination. I've always had a great imagination growing up, because, you know, we moved a lot because my parents rented houses, so we would never really get too established in the neighborhood. So I played by myself a lot, not played with myself. I played
I
by
know what you
myself a
meant.
lot.
For all you weirdos out there, I know
Yeah,
exactly
fucking
what he
Dan
meant.
was the first one that's going to say it, so we'll just cut him off before it happened. But you know, the GI Joe guys, the knights, you know, I didn't have the cool freaking Legos that they have now, but those were the things that I did, and I could sit in my room for hours and just develop this entire battle scene of GI Joe or the Transformers, you know, whatever it is. But that's where my imagination just ran wild. Now I get to put it into something and make it cool, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's like with your products, with the Valhalla la la la. You know, I always fuck that one up just for fun because it's like you get that song in your head. You know.
Yeah.
I even described it in my review as it's Christmas in Connecticut. And that's exactly how I saw it, was all the woods and all the just everything pulling up inside you. What was it? The Eric the Fearless you did for autism. It felt like you were on
Luca, yeah.
Luca. Sorry, it felt like you were on the longboat going on a raid.
Yeah.
You got that feeling. You know, Rise of the Draugr is phenomenal. Even freaking Pumpkin wasn't overbearing. It was a great scent.
Yeah,
You know,
not too much pumpkin. Yeah, because I don't want to smell like a fucking Starbucks. You know, I wanted something different in it.
and this is a huge reason why I wanted you on, because it's sneaky good. Even like Jormungandr, the beard wash. I said it in the Longhouse and I mean it. It's one of my favorite go-to beard washes. It's not really stripping. It's not really going to screw up your beard. It gets you nice and clean. Has a great smell in the shower that's not going to carry over and try to mess up the scents from the oil or the butter or whatever you're putting in.
Yeah, it never carries. That's why I love that. It never carries over.
Yeah, even like you said, you've got dog wash. And the one thing you do that I really love that I found out the last order I placed, this is what burned me the first couple times. I'm scrolling down. I'm like, fuck, all he has is like the butter. God damn it. And then I kept scrolling down and you've got a combo section.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you what's in stock. And I'm like, I wish I saw that before.
Yeah, I need to reform it a little bit. I don't know. It works for me because I think I have it organized pretty well. It's hard because the website is through Square and it doesn't combos and gift sets and stuff are really hard to do because I have to do separate inventories for all of them. I can't have one inventory of say 50 butters and then have one item draw out of that same inventory. I got to say I'm only doing 26 combos and 24 oils, that's what I did. Like with Hogmanay, here's an oil butter combo and here's just oils. Cause people, most people just don't buy a separate butter. So when I do the limited edition, I don't do a butter option, a butter only option. But on my regular main line, I do, and I've got too much stuff. So I got to start scaling back on some things that may not sell as well.
The only thing that you've done that, and it's a personal thing for me that I haven't liked, is the metal tins for the butter. There's two reasons. Yeah. Just to let you know, two reasons. Number one, you live in Satan's Anus, Arizona. So if you order at certain times of year, you're getting some fucking soup. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that'll happen with any container, though.
But still. And the other thing for me with a metal one, sometimes I've cranked down a little too hard and I can't get it open without pliers.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
I've done it.
For me. You live in a state where even Satan goes, it's fucking hot.
Yeah, he stays out in the summertime. No, I've gotten butters from other guys in glass jars and plastic containers, and everybody's has been soup. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, this butter will ship. It'll never. Every single one that I've received here has been soup.
Yeah, I can see that for me, depending where the company is. I won't order 4 months out of the year for butter. I won't, because I know what's going to happen. I won't, unless it's a limited. I'm like, fuck it, I can throw it in the freezer.
Yeah, well, and that's where I tweaked my butter recipe. I got rid of the coconut oil for two reasons. And it was tough for me because I really love the consistency of the one with the coconut oil. I found more and more people, not because they complained about it, but just people posting, just because I watch a lot of social media stuff and people saying that coconut oil bothers them. Okay. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to take that out. Cocon Butter is really, really nice butter. I got 3 nice butter. I got shea, I got mango, and I got Cocon Butter in there. And Cocon Butter is so silky smooth. So it took me a while to tweak it because, like I said, within grams, you're changing the consistency quite a bit. And so part of that reason was the Cocon Butter isn't as good, isn't as it doesn't have as high a melting temperature as the coconut oil. So I'm hoping that'll help a little bit in the summer, but like I said, everything's still going to come out as soup. And it's just, I hate that you guys have to reset stuff when you get it, but I don't know how to do it any other way.
I am going to give you credit on this. I did notice with the last order I placed on you this last summer, which number one was on me, everybody. Okay. Like I said, I violated my own rules because I wanted this stuff bad. You put it in a set, you put the butters, each individual butter in a separate plastic container. So if it turned to soup, it was contained. It didn't contaminate everything.
I still do it even in the winter, just in case, because I get some hot days. I mean, it was 34 degrees this morning here, but during the day, it could be sitting in the truck and the truck still heats up to 90. It shouldn't melt at 90, but I still put them in just in case.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to contaminate your whole order, especially with soap.
Oh yeah, I get that a lot because I don't want to say cross contamination, but I get it.
Yeah, even the beard wash. I mean, everything I put in their own separate thing, just in case it burst or broke or something. Try to contain it as much as I could.
And speaking of the soaps, guys, if you haven't tried them, you really need to. You seriously do. I was kind of skeptical. I always have been of this is going to sound so bad, but forgive me, of smaller companies hand producing stuff, because you're like, especially soaps, how they can go really wrong really quick. And I tried yours and I was like, holy shit, this is good. Because I'm one of those guys who alternates between like a liquid body wash and the big brick of Duke Cannon that will last you all fucking year long for $20. Oh, I mean, seriously, I've got one I've been using for 4 months. I can still kill a cow with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those things are. I don't even know how you hang on to the damn thing. My wife got me one of those for Christmas, and I was not this like years before I started making. So, but
I got one of their tactical soap scrubbies.
yeah,
So it makes the gripping a little bit easier, you know. And when you're first trying to use it and you're killing yourself with the big brick, you're like, ow, 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 ow. All right, man. Now, as we're coming up on like the last 15 minutes, you can tell it's been great because it doesn't even feel like we've been talking for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
One of the huge things we talk about here is mental health. Now, I ask everybody this. When you're having a bad day and you know you're like, oh my God, I'm not one more thing better go wrong. What do you do to help center yourself?
It used to be this, but I don't have. It still hangs. I can't do anything with it anymore, and I don't have anywhere else to put it because this used to be my gym, and I turned it all into. Now it's all strictly beard and soap lab. So, but yeah, the I hit the bag for years, and a lot of that had to do taking that aggression out, working out. My hands are feeling it now. Everything is feeling it now for doing that. But honestly, I try to. This does most of it. When I'm feeling an order, or if I'm feeling like shit, I just come out here, crank my music, and I'll create something. I'll make a bunch of butters, I only make maybe 5 butters at a time, unless it's a limited. I'll make 20 of them or something, but I'll create something, play video game, whatever it is. Usually coming out here, I know a lot of people, back when I was drinking, being by myself was a dark place.
Yep.
Because the shame, because the hatred, because my ex-wife and the stuff that we went through with that. I mean, you name it, I was in a dark place. But now being by myself is serenity for me. And I get, my wife is very good with allowing me to do this, I still take care of stuff. I still participate in my daughter's soccer stuff. I still, like today when I got home, got the food and got dinner in the smoker, cut 20 loaves of soap. I work 10 hours a day, pick my daughter up from school to, put the food in the smoker. Stressful day. But yeah, I come out here and this does it for me. This has done a lot for my sobriety, swirling soap or mixing things, math. I do, the math of doing everything as I go does a lot for me. It's just keeping my mind busy and sharp doing the thinking process, because when I've got that much shit going on, there's no room for the bad shit. And it pushed it out like a pimple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally get that, because first off, in the military, we call it finding your next objective. And that's what you've done when you've had something going on. And lately, I've got a second channel going on for tabletop wargaming, like little miniatures that you have to build, assemble, paint up, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun to sit down with a blank canvas and try to figure out what you want to do with it. I'll put in something on Netflix on the TV, like recently. It's Peaky Blinders.
And I love that.
Fucking
Peaky fucking Blinders. Oh yeah.
My better half thought I was a moron. Well, I'm like, we got Netflix again? Cool. Peaky fucking Blinders. I'm like an idiot. Fuck you. Watch the show,
I love it.
But like, I'll start painting and zone out to that. And it's amazing how, like, one session I did 20 years ago was 36 hours and I didn't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
I just sat there working on that miniature. And when I was done, I was like, fuck, I'm tired. Looked down and went, oh shit, it's done.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that, because I could come out here, on, for example, Sunday. Sundays are my soap days. You know, I try to do, I'll take care of a couple things on Saturdays, but I give that to my daughter's soccer game. I give it to doing stuff around the house, give it to time to my wife. Try to do funny stuff. If we're just going to sit around and watch TV, I'll come out and work. I'm a workaholic. I can't sit still. So if I feel like I'm sitting there watching TV, something is not getting done. So I could be, you know, even if I don't have any orders to fill, I can be in here pre-making a couple oils. I could be here I could be making labels for the next release, you know, which I still need to do. But there's so many things that I feel like I could be doing. I can't sit still, and it's kind of a sickness. But like on Sunday, I watched football. I put the TV on. I listen to football because I don't really have time. And
Right.
you know, next thing you know, 8-10 hours are gone, but I've got 20 loaves of soap made, you know, washed all the dishes and, you know, filled 7 orders. And, you know, time went by so quickly. And not that there was anything that pissed me off during the day that made me forget it, but it is so quickly forgotten and a good reset for the next day. So, you know, like I said, part of this my recovery from alcoholism is doing this stuff because it gives my mind something else to do.
I remember your 1-year anniversary, I believe it was, when I, mentioned happy birthday a couple days early, but still, I think it was your 1 year.
It might have been my 2, because May 5th I'll have 4 years,
okay.
God willing, that I can keep my shit together.
It's been recent where I did that, so
yeah, I think it was in a 2 or 3 year.
Yeah, I know some people like, what the fuck is he wishing happy birthday? But you knew what I was saying, so
yeah. No, I appreciate that, and that my real birthday's coming up on the 4th, on February 4th, and I'll be 48. My wife is 3 days younger than me, so she'll on the 7th she'll be 48. So we're getting close to 50.
Yeah, I'm old as fuck. My kids had to wake me up last night to tell me that they just learned France stopped using the guillotine in 1976. And my son had to go, what were you, 5? I'm like, here, let me go to the top of the stairs with you. Let's go have a little conversation.
And they woke you up and it was 6 p.m.
Yeah. That's one of the, I don't know how to say it. Getting old sucks because I call them my comas. You sit in the chair to watch something. The next thing you know, it's 5 hours later.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just sat down. What the hell?
I can't. My wife hates it. Oh, thank you, Mike. My wife hates it because when I do finally, like say Friday night, shut it down. We can sit there. As soon as I hit the couch, the dogs get on my lap. Fuck, I'm out, dude. I can't even finish a movie. It's pitiful, shameful.
No, I get it.
You know, hey, I'm giving this time to you, babe. Then I blame it on her and say, well, let's watch a fucking movie with enough killing in it or something so I can stay awake.
Really, I don't want to watch a rom-com. Give me John Wick. Okay.
That's right. I even fell asleep. I can't remember what it was, that one with the guy that played Thor. I don't know. They did a second one. It was an action flick, and I fell asleep with 10 minutes into the damn thing. But trying to get better.
Extraction or whatever.
Extraction 2, yeah. Extraction 2.
2 sucked. No offense, 2 sucked.
Yeah, that's probably why I fell asleep. So good.
They should have never ever made it. But still, we're coming up on that hour mark. Like I said, we do about an hour, respectful of your time. One of the huge things is when we end it, I kind of throw out a challenge, and this is for everybody. We have election season here now. Everybody's going to be doing tribal politics and getting combative. You hear about the new 80,000 different strains of the variants running around. You hear about everything else under the sun, and mental health is going, woohoo. Mm-hmm. Take a moment. Call your friends. See how they're doing. Like I said, every week I say 3. If you can't do 3, do 2. Can't do 2, do 1. Just call and have the courage to listen. Because you never know how you can change somebody's day. You never know what they're going through. You never know what's on the other end of the phone unless you're doing like a FaceTime or an Instagram live chat and you can actually see them. You never, ever know. Because like he said in the beginning of the show, and I seriously agree with him 100%. Ever since the lockdowns happened, we have fucking lost our way. We really, truly have. What do we got here, Lady L? Congrats, 48 double rolls for 20. Congrats, Lady L. But now, when I usually throw that out, I'm going to throw it over to you, Tim. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good with that. You know, they talk about that. I go to, you know, I keep going back to AA because it's done a lot for me in my life. I go to a Saturday morning men's meeting every Saturday.
Okay.
At 7. So waking up at 6 to, I usually take a whole bunch of orders that I did, drop them off at the post office, and then I go on to the meeting. And I made a lot of good friends in there, and there a lot of things they stress is call somebody every day, or, you know, I have a hard time doing that. I don't call people during work. You know, I work 4 10-hour days. You know, my job is pretty demanding a lot of times in my regular job, and, you know, but just calling, seeing how somebody is. There's a couple guys, one guy in particular on Facebook or text. You know, we just kind of check in with each other each day. How you doing, man? You doing okay? Everything good? Hope you have a great day. You know, that stuff means a lot to me. I try to pay that forward to other people. Let them know you're thinking about them, and, you know, and being genuine about it, not just robotic of, oh yeah, I'm just doing what I'm told to do. You know, you know, that's why I don't do it every day, because then it doesn't seem as genuine.
Right.
When I talk to guys in the program of it, and so it's you know, I think what you said is really cool, because like you said, you never know who you touch, you know, and I think one of my buddies back in New York had seen one of my interviews talking about this, and next thing you know, he called me and said, "Hey dude, you got a minute? I need to talk to you about something." And to almost change his life, you know, just the conversation that we had when you know, usually he was the guy that grew up with me, and we were the first ones to fight somebody, you know,
Right.
they're going to fight. And here he's talking to me, and I'm saying, why don't you step back and listen? Why don't you step back and look at the picture before you speak? Why don't you get a little bit more fact? And he's glad he did, because of the outcome. So, you know, so you never know. You really never know. You never know who you run into that's struggling, or that's in the same situation you are. And, you know, I try to be the best person that I can. Just, you know, like I said, I grew up, you know, I thought I was always helpful and nice, you know, and always willing to give the shirt off my back to anybody. But I had a real dick side to me too. Like I said, when I got in a fight, it was see red, and, you know, people get hurt.
Yep.
I don't want to be like that anymore, and I'm glad that I'm not.
Well, congrats, brother, because seriously, ever since I've known you, and granted at first it was just a little bit of typing, you know, you've been an amazing individual and someone I'm really proud to call a brother. I'm sorry it took so long to get you on here, but you were one of those where I'm like, I've got to get him on. I've got to get him on. And then when I heard about your story, well, fuck, you're here. You know?
No, I appreciate that a lot, Chris. It means a lot.
Now, I do this for everyone because I give a little bit of spoilers for tomorrow's videos coming up. I know you said you've got some spring stuff coming up. Any titles you may want to give away that you're tentatively working on?
Yeah. So it's going to be backwards. So we talked about the Ravens. We're going to go over the hour just for, if you don't mind, just for.
No, I don't mind.
So Hugin and Munin are Odin's ravens. So I decided I'm going to do 2 beard limited edition. This is going to be spring. So I love berries. So spring to me, berries, you know, so I'm going to have a soap that's complete, no beard stuff to it. Ostera that I had last year. It's a strawberry cactus water, neroli, great soap. And then I'm going to have the beard stuff. So it's going to be Hugin's, Munin's Scorn, and Hugin's Counsel.
Oh,
so you know, he's got, you know, I picture the ravens on his shoulders. One's talking shit to him, one's trying to tell him to calm down. You know, so you get in the mental health aspect of it. There'll be the ravens with some berries, and I've already started doing some of the AI artwork for it and stuff. I got to get the labels. So the profiles for and so I and you know what? None of my blends are bird blends. So I thought,
Right.
what the hell? I might put some emu oil in it. And so one of them right now that I'm testing has the emu oil in it. That's what I have in today, and I freaking love it. So I think I'm going to do them both just because they're bird blend. So I think I'm going to do them both in a bird blend. One of them is going to be a blackberry, black raspberry, oud, Palo Santo. What the hell? I've got quite a few things in the profile. Fucking smells phenomenal.
Can I pre-order now? That's all I'm saying. Can I pre-order now?
I might have to send you a tester just to see what you think.
I won't complain. You got my address. I won't complain.
Yeah, I might just send them your way. And then Hugin's Council will be the red side of the berry. It's going to have a little bit of fizz pop to it. It's going to have red raspberry. It's got blueberry from Luca in it. It's got some Aqua di Gio cologne in it. I know that's pretty popular with a lot of guys. So it has a great cologne vibe, and I tell you what, these two together are freaking phenomenal. Just the way that they're sitting right now, and I hate talking like that because I'm not an arrogant fuck. I just love the way that they smell. I love the way they turned out. So with the soap, just because I've got so much that I'm trying to make, if I'm making a soap for each one, that's 300 bars that I make. And then plus the Ostera would be 450 bars, and then try to keep on my inventory. So I decided I'm only going to do one soap. I'm going to mix the berries together. So it'll be a mixed berry soap, and I'm going to call it 2 birds, 1 brick.
Yeah. I'm already getting excited for that one.
So I'm working on the artwork for that right now. The artwork is ready. I just got to start designing the boxes because I got to place that for the boxes here soon. I've got a barbershop collaboration I'm doing with Shawano Brothers in Wisconsin. We've got our spin on a different barbershop because my America AF is already a barbershop. So I got a little bit different spin coming in with his. For the summer, I've got Lithus Block coming back. The grape soda cologne one was really popular. Loved how that one turned out.
I got it. Didn't
it turn out good?
That fucking surprised me. I was like, there is no way I'm gonna like this, and I'm like, that motherfucker.
I love how that turned out, man. I just absolutely love it. So I'm bringing that one back, and then I've got. I haven't decided the exact name, but we talked about Frere.
Right.
And Frere, the summer is all about them getting ready for harvest and the whole thing. So I'm going to call it Frere's Offering.
Oh, nice.
And it's going to be a lemon, a spiked lemon margarita type of blend with cologne in it. So I haven't mixed that one yet. But I got to get the stuff ordered, so I'll come up with something for that.
You've already got me going. Man, this is fun.
Alcoholic with all these fucking bourbon and Shane and and margarita names and stuff. Hey, I'm not drinking it, but it's in the soap, so I love the smell of a margarita.
There's a huge fucking reason I put you in that top 3 companies of 2023. There's a huge fucking reason. You guys are seeing it tonight.
Get to indulge without indulging.
I'm just saying. See, now he gave us great spoilers. Now here's mine for tomorrow, guys. You're not going to believe this. We're still doing weird snack food. Imagine chocolate flavored by nature. That's all I'm going to say. Chocolate flavored by nature.
Okay.
Tune in. It's an interesting video.
Sounds like it.
Oh my God. But on that wonderful thing, Tim, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. Like I said, we're going to have you back. I'm sorry it took this long because once I started talking to you, I went, I got to get him on here. Especially after I tried your products. You're sneaky fucking good. You deserve a lot more exposure and a lot more people should be looking into Valhalla Beard,
I appreciate it very much, Chris. Just
it's all good. Watch the replay. He gave out some great stuff tonight.
Got a lot of spoilers. the spoil, it's like I'm working on this stuff, so I don't care if it lets people get excited about it. The excitement will be how it actually turned out, and then seeing my imagination again, talking my imagination with the labels. Now that people that watch this, they could hear where I come from, how squirrely my mind is, and then they'll see what the soap boxes look like. And you haven't I don't think you bought soap since I
I've only bought
did all
one.
the custom
I will
soap.
be buying more. I will be buying
So-
more. We bought one.
And that was when I had the brown boxes, right? So
Yep.
you haven't even seen all the custom ones yet.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the box is sitting over there because I was like planning on reviewing it, going, okay, use your imagination. This is a block of soap, okay?
Yeah, so the designs and everything I did on all the boxes now it's one of the best
Agreed.
investments I've ever done was upgrade those freaking boxes, and they just, I love how they turned out. I really do. So that stresses me out. That kind of shit stresses me out. So I'll be working on that by this weekend because I got to get an order in.
It will. It's your stuff. But like I say in all my videos, and don't go away because I have a couple of green room questions for you. I do it with everybody afterwards, okay?
Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you so much for your comments. If you're coming in late like this dude down here, watch the replay because we had a lot of fun with him tonight. We covered a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. He will be back. All I'm going to say is thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great night tonight, a safe night tonight. I'll see all of you in our very next video.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in.